Hello, my lovelies. Welcome, welcome to your weekly astrological live stream with me, Natalie, spelled Natalee. Okay, this is going to be a really interesting week to discuss because it's leading into the full moon that we're going to have in Gemini on Monday, the 27th. So I will get more into that, into the nitty gritty for next week's live stream. But just know that right off the bat, that this week has an end goal, has an end game. And we're going to dive into it. But first, there's a new spot that has opened up in the High Priestess and Hierophant's tier over on Patreon. As you guys know, I am so passionate and excited to help and assist and serve you guys in your self mastery. So I'm very excited to help onboard someone that is taking remote viewing very seriously, telekinesis very seriously, channeling, whatever it is that you want to learn and develop and grow. That's over on the Patreon. And readings are open, first come, first serve through the Stan store. We are going to schedule it, and I'm going to email you about the scheduling, guys. I'm basically starting a whole other business from the ground up. There's a lot more support, and I'm really, really happy to do what I'm doing all day, every day. I'm literally running all over Chicagoland like a little madwoman. Meetings in River North and dinner in the West Loop. Just kidding, a little bit, but this has just been such a great balance for me, that Taurus eclipse. So I'm really excited to share it all, share all the goodies with you guys. And this other business for me, my end game is to make movies and TV shows and hire the showrunners I want and pay the actors that I want and be the cartoonish studio exec. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with, I think that's it for announcements or updates or whatnot. Okay, so let me write this down. Monday, hello, Troy, welcome. Thank you for the alien emojis. Appreciate you. Monday, the 20th of November, we have the quarter moon in Aquarius. We also have the sun in Scorpio making a sextile over to Pluto in Capricorn. We have Mercury in Sagittarius making a trine over to Chiron in Aries. So Monday is a day to push forward, push ahead, push through discomfort. The discomfort will be there. The quarter moon, the first quarter moon, growing, waxing, gaining in light quarter moon is always that crisis in action. There's going to be an obstacle or discomfort or feeling out of your comfort zone or something unusual. This is Aquarian energy, so it's going to be subjective, what's unusual to you. And you're going to need to go for it. You're going to need to get out of your comfort zone and push ahead. Okay. And it may be personality or personal based. It may be, a little bit quirky with Aquarius energy. So, you have really helpful energy that supports getting out of your comfort zone. The sun in Scorpio sextiling Pluto in Capricorn is extremely regenerative. So these areas, the Scorpio area, the Capricorn area, are being regenerated. I love Scorpio energy because it's like bottomless. It's just stamina for ever. Energizer bunnies. So you have that somewhere in your chart. Scorpio energy is where you just you want to keep going, and it's a fixed sign. So that's like the nature of it is to continue on no matter what. So, use it. Use it. Mercury trining Chiron, a lot of healing coming in through conversations, through words. I'm calling this week living to tell the tale because we are moving into Sagittarius season this week, coming out of the dungeons of Scorpio season, a little bit more into the light. But Sagittarius energy, I always see it as like old rock stars around the campfire, telling tales of the glory days, and or that's what's the Cloud Atlas at the very end of Tom Hanks and Halle Berry, just like she's like, warm your own bones over here. It's very much like very Led Zeppelin, very Pink Floyd, like just telling stories. And that's why I'm calling this week living to tell the tale. What story are you telling about your life? So that's how I want you to think about this week. Is the Sagittarius energy will be more about how you want to live your life based on how you will tell the story of how your life went when you're old and crotchety and nothing works anymore, and you're in this interstitial place where you feel very like outcast from society and misunderstood and like underappreciated, and people are just ignoring you. You're asking like, what'd you say? And they're like, so-and-so can't hear me anyway. And, you're like, fuck, excuse my French. I had an argument this week with a woman in French, believe it or not. It was this past week. It was hilarious. Anyway, but where was it? Oh, the story that the tale we're telling ourselves, or so that's how I want you to look at this week. It's like, did you come up against the obstacle and fail, and all that's all you could think about? Because it's not about failing, it's about getting back up. Everyone fails at something. Everyone interesting. If you don't have any stories of failing, then you are boring, to be honest, in my humble opinion, not so humble opinion. So Monday is the day to push forward. And if you're coming up against something uncomfortable, maybe there's a new person in your world and you're like, you are so different. I don't know I have no way of relating to you about anything. Maybe that's someone's obstacle, or maybe it's financial, maybe it's educational. You're trying to learn something and it's not getting in your mind, whatever it is. Push forward, regenerate yourself, tune into your own higher self or guidance, your ancestors, your guides, whatever, and find where the regeneration is. What makes you feel full again, full of energy, of confidence? That Mercury trining Chiron is giving you that. It's expanding the story and it's touching on a wound. So be prepared to be confronted with fears, possibly, of where you messed up before, because you may have a chance to do it over again and not mess it up this time. But you might be afraid of it. You might be like, oh no, I'm going to do it again. Or like, I don't know, something. That's not going to be completely like accurate for everyone. That might just be like a personal thing. It depends on what that wound is for you with that Chiron and Aries. But it could have to do with when you were bold and brave and it didn't pan out, didn't fly, guys. I can't tell you how many times all of my success that you see, there's about 100,000 failures behind every one win that I get. All right. So that's just like part of it. Every no leads you to your yes. So you can't take everything so personally. So that's what I have for you for Monday. But like I said, use that Sun Pluto to just charge up, power up, and get really nice and strong if you're lacking. Tuesday, the 21st of November, we have the Sun in Scorpio opposing Uranus in Taurus. Woo, woo. Okay, I'm just kidding. Mars in Scorpio sextiles Pluto in Capricorn. Venus in Libra opposes Chiron in Aries again. So you have these like two back-to-back Chiron contacts before the Sun moves into Sagittarius on Wednesday. So I feel like Monday and Tuesday are like their own vibe. They're like their own little world. And on Tuesday, with the Sun opposing Uranus, you guys know me, I'm a Uranian person. I have my Moon and Mercury in Aquarius. So I just want oh, I got a trim here. Guys, it was long, but it was dead. It was long hair, but dead hair. And I checked, and the last time I got my hair cut or trimmed was a year ago. A year. A whole year. Ooh, it was crazy. It was very much releasing, letting go. So I feel very like healthy. So now we're going to grow long, healthy blue hair. It's going to be beautiful. Anyway, so the Sun opposing Uranus, this is like the last, especially at the end of Scorpio, right before we get into like old rockers around the campfire energy. This is like your last breakthrough, your last shock, your last like it's the epipen, like the last jolt of some deep awareness that the Scorpio season has been digging into the Scorpio area of life and unearthing things. I don't know if you guys like looking for bugs under like rocks, but like you flip that sucker and you get quite the sight. So this, I feel, is going to be like a big awareness moment on Tuesday where it's like, whoa, whoa, ooh, I think it's going to be exciting, especially because Mars sextiles Pluto in Capricorn. That's more revitalization. That's more motivation. There's like a power transforming within you. There could also be changes of power in your life, in your own world happening. that are beneficial to you. So go with it, go with the flow. Also on Tuesday, Venus in Libra opposes that Chiron in Aries. So honestly, that will be a little bit of like feeling vulnerable or exposed, especially in relationships. So, I mean, ultimately, this is going to be an awareness of the wounds for healing. So there could be a positive, beautiful, wonderful thing happening on Tuesday, but it does speak to something awkward or touching on like low self-esteem or how I really see this with the Venus Chiron opposition in Aries and Libra. It's very much almost like telling someone you like them, or like maybe you tip your barista at Starbucks every morning, and then this day on Tuesday, you're like, do you want to like be friends? Like, we always talk a lot here and I feel like we vibe. Like, do you want to like go, like, I don't know, do something one weekend? Or, and maybe you have like a horrible long history of like shitty friends or people hating you, or like your friends betraying you or something, and it's, or you just hate making new friends, or it's difficult making new friends, but it's like, it's healing. So it's going to bring that awareness up and you're going to like feel like, but it'll work. It'll go great. So Tuesday looks very exciting. I would keep plans loose and open on Tuesday, just the unexpected. That's what I would say. Okay. Ooh, I'm blowing through this. I'm kidding. Wednesday, the 22nd of November, we have the sun moving into Sagittarius and the sun trines the moon. So the moon's going to move into Aries, bam, and they're going to trine. That's nice. That's really gorgeous when you have the sun and the moon circumstances and your focus and the awareness. Like there is something revealing itself. And it's like you feel like you're ready for a new adventure. It could be a new path. It could be a new option. It could be, it's something about the story you're going to be living to tell the tale of. So with the sun in Sag, it could be perspective on your life as you've lived it thus far. I wouldn't get too into that. I would probably mine it for gold, but then be focused on the horizon. Okay. It's not about falling. It's about getting back up again. And the only thing I can see going horribly wrong in Sagittarius season is people being super righteous, over promising, grandiose, and just getting really argumentative or bitter because they're like holding on to some perspective, like they're dying on that hill. They're going to die on that hill. They're going to die on the hill of some perspective, or there's some kind of like armchair psychologist and they're holding on to some image of you or of a relationship or of a situation, and they're just going to die on that hill. You have to let that go. If they're going to be like that, you just got to like and just do what you're going to do. Okay. So the sun moves into Sag, telling the story of our life. This is how I want you to look at it. I want you to look at it like, okay, so that didn't work out. That didn't work out. That didn't work out. Did I just like give up and get bitter and afraid and never take another risk ever again and learn and grow and just stay plateaued at that level? Or did I figure it out? Did I try? Did I try again? It doesn't matter to anyone else but you. You're going to be with yourself at the end of your life when no one else is paying attention to you at the family party. They're wheeling you around and everyone, you're the oldest person in the room and no one gives a fucking shit about you. And you're like feeling alienated and judged because you're old as shit and you're crotchety and no one cares about all the value you have and all the experience of life that you've lived. And they're just like writing you off, and everyone's benefiting off of everything you created off of your own back to make sure they're taken care of. It's going to be you and your life and your memories. So what is the story that you tell yourself? Are you surrounding yourself with the right people for the right reasons? Have you been like super materialistic the last couple of years with the Taurus Scorpio eclipses? These eclipses we're going, okay, we're changed over to Libra and Aries. This is about relationships versus your personal selfhood, your personhood. So the sun moving into Sagittarius is, I'm trying to guide you here. Trying to mold you to thinking a little bit differently than the norm, than the masses. So the sun in Sag, I'd like you to channel the biggest picture of your life. Who do you want, or who's going to care about you at the end of your life? Who's really going to be there and, listen to you and read to you and listen to what you have to say and care about if you're comfortable or not, and not just like forget about you, leaving you out in the sun in your wheelchair without any water, going thirsty as fuck, I think it's my Aquarian nature that I'm just so like for the disenfranchised and the forgotten fringes of society, just like how people don't talk about certain topics. I'm in my writing, I've noticed that like I like to write about things no one wants to talk about. So it's a little bit, controversial. It might be a little bit, it takes time for people to catch up to it, but it's the future. So, Sun and Sag on Wednesday, take the broadest view of your life possible. Take the broadest view. Think about the story that you're going to tell or write. Maybe you write a memoir for yourself. How exciting. But yeah, sun trining the moon on Wednesday, you're ready for a new adventure. You're like, this is not how my life goes. This is not how I want it to go. This is not it. I need to switch gears. I need to do something different. I need to spice it up a little bit. I need to buy a plane ticket to go somewhere. You might be like that, like Sagittarius energy. They do everything for the experience. I did it. I knew it was stupid. I couldn't afford it, but I got the experience. But I got the experience. At least it was experience, they justify everything that way. Okay, let's move on to Thursday, the 23rd. The sun in Sagittarius squares Saturn in Pisces. So yeah, Saturn's at like the 0th degree now, direct, recently moved direct in Pisces. The sun marches into a square with Saturn. This is getting real about the story. So you can't be like, I'm going to make $1 billion, but then you can't like talk to people and really connect with them and make deals for yourself and build a team of employees or you know what I mean? You can't be like, I'm going to be the greatest singer of all time and then never practice your vocal exercises or whatever. You can't say, I'm going to be the great American novelist and then just like never learn how to write. You know what I'm saying? It like, there's just like, there may be where you're too far apart. And this on Thursday is going to be very helpful to help you get real about what it actually is going to take. And I'm telling you right now, if you are blaming any person or situation or circumstance, you're doing it wrong. That's not the reason why you're not as far as you want to be. There's something about you. There's something you're doing or not doing, thinking or not thinking, saying or not saying. And, in some cases, it doesn't even have to be negative. This could be where you're on the news start, you're on the news story, and Saturn, you hit the Saturn square, and you just take care of it. You just do it. You just take care of it. That's all. Oh, you need a permit? Boom, get it out of the way. Oh, you need a license? Boom, get it out of the way. When I get a fucking parking, I pay that shit immediately. I put it on a credit card so I don't have to look at it. And I just get it out of the way so that it takes up like that much of my like conscious awareness and thoughts, like, because I don't want to stay in that energy. I don't want to bring that energy around with me and like infect other people with it and be all huffing and puffing about it. You have to wipe it. So that's my guidance for you. Whatever that is, whatever the thing that comes up against, just take care of it immediately. If there's a relationship thing that's like twisting in the wind, or you just talk to them, send them the message, send them the email, tell them the thing, take care of it, get it out of the way as soon as possible. You'll be happy you did, and you'll be happy that you did it quickly. Chop, chop. Okay. Also on Thursday, Mercury in Sagittarius quincunxes Uranus retrograde in Taurus. Whenever there's a quincunx, that's going to be a fork in the road. Red Robe calls it the Great Eliminator angle, but basically it's a bit of an awkward energy, but it's a new path opening up. And when you get a quincunx, that's what you do. It's going to be awkward, but the answer is to take the new path that's opening up. So the fork in the road, when a new path opens up at the fork in the road, go ahead and walk down it, take that new path. And in this case, it's thinking, speaking, writing, innovation, maybe financial positions changing, but go for it. Friday, the 24th of November, we have Mars following suit going into Sagittarius. So we have some poppin' stuff every day or every couple of days or something going on. So with Mars moving into Sagittarius, like I said, the only downsides to this Sag season could be that people are just super bombastic, righteous, grandiose, like the shooter kind of God made me do it. God made me kill all these people kind of energy, or getting really overly wrapped up in world stories, other people's stories. If you're caring more about other people's lives or other people's business, other people's stories, you're doing it wrong. The only reason you should care about them is if you're working with them, if it's your spouse, your children, your business partners, coworkers, when you're at work, but if it's someone you're not really connecting with for any reason, you're wasting your life. You're wasting your life force. You're wasting your energy. It's yours to waste. It's yours. It's yours. It's not mine. I don't care what you do with it. But I'm just telling you that if you're over focusing on other people's stories, how other people are living their lives, then you're channeling the wrong end of Sagittarius spectrum. And you're being like, should. You should, or not should. You shouldn't do that. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So that could pick up with Mars entering Sag on Friday. So people around you could be like aggressively grandiose. And it's just, remember, what other people do and say and think is who they are. How we respond is who we are. So if you're getting that, maybe someone's yelling at you for not paying enough attention to politics. And maybe they're saying, I don't care what side you pick, but just pay attention or something. And they're going off and they can't stop talking about it. They have something that they're like working out and they're just projecting it onto you. Or if someone else is trying to tell you about your eating habits, or they keep talking about how you dress or what you wear, or like something weird, anything weird at all. If anyone is over commenting on any part of your life, what you like, what you don't like, how you're living your life, your past, your future, the plans you're making, they got an issue. You need a boundary with that person. If you're not paying that person to analyze your life for you, or if you are not inviting their opinion because you respect what they have to say and you respect their perspective, boundary. Okay. So you don't do that to other people. Let other people live their lives. It's their lives to live or to waste or do whatever. Don't judge it. Sagittarius could be friends with anyone in the world when they're great. When they're healthy, they can befriend anyone. They could be, I have my Venus in my Venus is in Sagittarius. So I could literally be friends with anyone. Okay. The presidents, the crackheads, the drug dealers, the homicidal maniacs, the teachers, the drug abusers, the alcoholics, I've had clients that have, never mind. I'm not even going to go down that rabbit hole. That's a wormhole for another time. But it's like when you're a positive Sag, you're kumbaya Sag. You're fucking around the campfire, kumbaya. Everyone share their story. Let's all learn from it. Let's all talk about it. What can I learn from you? And that's the positive Sag. What can I learn from you being so different? But the bad Sag, they're going to be like the grandiose, righteous, like they're just gonna be the exact opposite of that. They're not gonna be able to be friends with anyone or everyone. They're gonna be more judgy and more like delusional. So that's all. So Mars and Sag for the next few weeks could get everyone super like on the soapbox about their beliefs and their like whatever. But it can also be aggressively fun. I have another business trip coming up. It's going to be cool. I'm really excited for it. Still haven't recovered from the last one. Haven't cleaned the apartment. Haven't gotten groceries. I'll get to it eventually. I've never done this before where I've had like 2 successful businesses I've never done that before. Like two really successful businesses. Like I'm like still adjusting. Um, Now you guys know that screenwriting and making movies is like numero uno in my life. So if anything were to obliterate all of my life right now, it would be that. That would be like I'd drop everything like hot potatoes for that. But working to get there, I keep my life quite lovely, busy. So Mars and Sag could be travel, trips, philosophizing, armchair psychology, armchair psychologists, just don't shout. Don't be shouty. Don't be like a shouty fire sign. Don't overpromise. Sagittarius energy can overpromise, underdeliver. It's the grandiose. They can go grandiose, get delusional, and they might believe that they're great, but they're not. They might think that they're putting in so much work, but they're not. They may think that, I hope that makes sense. Comment below if it does not make sense. But yeah, otherwise have fun with it. I gave you the little red flags, but otherwise have fun with Friday. Saturday, the 25th of November, so when Mars moves into Sag, immediately hits the square to Saturn in Pisces, just like the sun did the day before. And it's not personal. It's not personal, guys. It's not personal. It's not personal. It's not personal. You just have to adjust. So, like I said with the sun is going to be more of the awareness of what you've got to do. So, I should have said that. God bless it. Mother of pearl. Thursday, the 23rd, it's what you're doing, but it's also the awareness. So the path could change around Thursday. The path, the life story that you're telling could change, and you just have to deal with it and keep going. On Saturday, it's how you're doing it. So this week, you're leading up to the full moon next Monday, and that's going to be a doozy. But it's changing your life story in a very prominent way, and it's wrapping up something that started and opened up in June of this year. Okay, so on Saturday, it's not personal. You have to make the adjustment because of a new path, a new opportunity, or a new vision, or maybe you're dreaming too small and you're not dreaming big enough. That's all that is. You might come up against something that slows your roll a little bit. You want to go and like marry someone and they're like, whoa. Maybe you want to I'm sorry if that was really exaggerated. Maybe you want to get your business up and running, but you need permits and you have to apply, and there's like some kind of waiting line or something, and that's like whoa, and you got to wait, whatever. Just, it's not personal. Just adjust to it. It could feel a little frustrating because you might wish that you've done it earlier or that you got it rolling sooner or something like that. Venus in Libra, quincunxes. That'll be my new little air sign for quincunxes. Uranus in Taurus, retrograde. That I like. New relationship opportunities. Go follow the new relationship opportunity. Meet the new person. You meet the new person. Maybe they're sort of strange or weird or different or something different than you, or maybe to reconnect with someone, whatever. Go with it. Do it. It's going to feel a little bit like incongruent or like awkward. Maybe not awkward, but there might just be like a little adjustment, but do it. And my favorite part about Saturday. Okay, so Mercury also enters the shadow of their retrograde on Saturday. Mercury is going to retrograde in Capricorn, come back into Sagittarius at this degree on Saturday. So Saturday, moving forward, we're going to be coming back to as like, whoa, this was a really important time. Something was happening Saturday, Sunday, Monday, leading into the full moon. So it'll be very interesting to see how this all plays out. But my favorite part about Saturday is, so be careful. That's what I'm saying. Be careful. Like Mercury's in Sag right now, going to retrograde in Capricorn, come back to this degree. Be so careful with what you say, because you're going to be coming back to it. And you're either going to be like, yeah, that was exactly the right thing to say and the right thing to, the right contract to sign, the right agreement to make, the right partnership to get into. Or you're going to look back at this time as like, oh, I fucked that up. I fucking dropped the ball. I missed a great fucking opportunity because I was like, I don't know, delusional or whatever, or I was stuck in my own head about something, or I had some kind of issue that I couldn't see in the moment around the end of November. But now that I have the clarity later, it's okay. This is why we do this. This is why we do this, to get you like on the right side of the future. Okay. The moon in Taurus will conjunct Jupiter retrograde in Taurus. Happiness, beauty, beautifulness. It's been mutually beneficial. I feel like wrapping it all up on Saturday, something mutually beneficial to everyone could come up because you're taking care of some things on changing the path that you're on or changing the gears in some areas of your life. The Mercury shadow could even be bringing a contract up from the past, bringing a job up from the past, bringing an opportunity up from the past that you did F up before. But now you're like, okay, I got it. I'm ready now. I'm ready. I could do it. I could do this now. I could do it. I can. Let's do it. And with the Venus, Uranus, the relationship is there, and it's refreshing, and it's different, and it's fun, and it's unique, and it's, it's not maybe one relationship. It's maybe your approach to relationships, your approach to relating. Sunday, the 26th of November, we have Mercury in Sag doing all of the things. We have the Mercury trining over to the North Node in Aries, and we have Mercury in Sag squaring Neptune. So the full moon starts early. It starts like Sunday. Does it technically? It does technically, because the moon will enter Gemini on Sunday, later in the day. But Mercury trining the North Node in Aries, green lights all the way down. Green lights. I love that. That's going to be, there's so much to talk about. You're making these friends for life. You're deepening these developing relationships forever, and you're building something together, or you are just enjoying the family you have. Like, that just looks really like a good time. What I love about that is that, here's what I like. Like, I like being around other entrepreneurs. I like being around other leaders. When I tend to be around, I don't want to say weaker people, when I just tend to be around people that need a little bit more, that are a little bit more, I tend to over focus on them. And that's actually something I'm working on right now, is to not over focus on like helping someone else, as to just focus on being strong and just staying strong and letting other people like help themselves. Because when you help someone too much, it doesn't work. That's what I've found, is that it actually does not work. It hurts. It just hurts the situation. You're taking an opportunity from them to grow and earn the strength, to earn the victory, to earn the paycheck, to earn that self-respect. You're taking it from them when you help them too much. You're betraying your own boundary, maybe you're betraying their boundary, but you help them and it doesn't like hit the same. It doesn't, because they know they didn't earn it. They know they didn't work for it. They know they didn't problem solve it. They know they didn't figure it out. They know that you just helped them. And if they're, depending on who they are, or the kind of personality they have, they actually may get into that victim persecutor complex, where the victim wants to stay the victim, and whoever's helping them, they turn that person into the persecutor. And there will be something that comes up that victim will be mad at the persecutor for, that helped them so much, so deeply for so long. And all of a sudden, now they're being hurt by that persecutor, which was the person helping them. The cycle continues till someone walks away. So green lights all the way down, but green lights with people that are independent and strong and leaderly and leader-like and able to hold their own with everyone else. So that's going to be the best, when you are strong and aligning with other strong individuals. It doesn't mean you cannot help people, but like, I don't know, volunteer at an animal shelter or something like that. Have an appropriate outlet for that energy that wants to help people. Like what I'm doing, I'm building like an agency from the ground up. And so part of it actually is helping people that need more because of great grave injustices done to them by the US government from like the fucking dawn of time. And so I'm really excited about that. And you know, it's going to be good. It's not like a humanitarian agency or anything. It's like it's a whole different industry, but um, it has a place. Your generosity, the way you want to help, it has a place, but it's not like in business. Okay? Like it's not in it even has limits in like a love relationship or family relationship. You can't, you know, that's why the kids get like upset when the parents are like helicoptering them. They're like, get off my shit, you know, let me fucking do it. You know, they need to earn that. Because if you help them too much, and I think that must be an issue with the nepo babies, is that, you know, how can they help it? They were just born into that. How can they possibly help that their parents were, you know, wealthy and famous and so established? And, you know, even if they try really hard, they'd have to try really hard to really be very anonymous and to try to earn their own way. But that would definitely be a complex. Like for someone like me with my kind of personality, I would want to feel like I earned every goddamn thing in my fucking life, you know? So, you know, it's you can't be too you have to have it appropriately organized in your life. Okay, just because they're your brother, just because they're your sister, just because you love them, you know, it's I'm telling you, that's gonna really stress out the relationship. So this on Sunday is the exact opposite of that. With Mercury and Sag trining the North Node in Aries, you want to be around other strong individuals. They inspire you, they motivate you. You know, it's like the campfire is not going to be as fun when everyone's feeling sorry for themselves. You want to be at the campfire with the fucking rock stars who ate sardines and tomato paste to make it through and get their band on the map. You know, those are the stories you want to hear. Those are the stories you want to hear. Those are the tales you want to tell people, that other people want to hear, and that you want to tell yourself, of how you went through the fucking gutter and came out the other side to make something work, of how hard it was to overcome these obstacles, and how you would fall back into yourself and have to be better and get sharper. All of that. That's what you want to say. Because that's a campfire I would want to be around. I wouldn't want to be around the campfire where everyone's just like depressed and bitter and blaming other people and blaming their exes and the government and whatever the fuck for their own failures. Ugh, that's like ick energy. Or if someone's projecting that onto me, if I'm trying to help someone and then all of a sudden I'm the bad guy. No. All right. So I love it for Sunday. Now, Mercury and Sag squaring Neptune and Pisces. Dream big, baby. You're not dreaming big enough. Dream big. Dream bigger. Something could be very inspiring on Sunday. I'm probably going to be sleeping a lot. I slept so much today. I've just been going and going and going. Like I said, I've never done this before where I've never done this before. So I'm still adjusting, getting more sleep, but feeling better and better. My hip is burning like an MFer, my right hip socket. I got injured. I was doing the martial arts many, many years ago. Anyway, so I'm going to the doctor this week and I'm so excited because my hip is numb. The outside of my right hip is numb. It's been numb for like a couple of weeks. If there's any doctors watching, let me know. Just go ahead and tell me what I need to do. I tried to Google it once and I got overwhelmed. I have my South Node in Virgo. So like I get super like hypochondriac and like anxiety and like I freak out about like health stuff. So I have to like psychologically confront it. But I'm like, oh my God. Anyway, I'm getting it taken care of this week. But dream big on Sunday. There's a health thing. Be healthy, be healthier, take care of yourself. Only thing is that if there's anyone around you that's like, there could be someone that's like actually lying to you with Mercury squaring Neptune. They could be lying to themselves, but they can also be lying to you. So again, they might not even know that they're lying. They might not even know that they might not see themselves as a victim. They might not see themselves as grandiose. They might not see themselves as self-sorry or anything. They may not get it yet. And that's where they are. But you'll have to have the boundary. You might realize that someone's sicker than you thought they were, or and even in a different way, that like, oh my God, my kid is sicker than I thought they were, so I have to, like it could be something like that. But focus on dreaming bigger, focus on healing, restoration, focus on creativity. This Sunday would be great for creativity. And yeah, that's going to lead you into the full moon on Monday, but you're going to be feeling it Sunday as well. So it doesn't have to be deception. It can also be that something isn't what you thought it was, or it's even better than you thought it was, or something comes through earlier than you thought it was going to come through, something of that nature. So let's go ahead and do some tarot. Let's see. Tarot time. All right, let me just check in on these comments here in the chat. All right. You guys are having a good convo. Oh, my new eyeshadow. Yeah, I got my gel liner. It came in. Thank you, Johnny. And I'm very much like a fan. So I've been doing my little, like, you can still see, this is the Mars scar. I get like scars on my head. Look at these. There's that one, my Harry Potter scar, and that one. So that's there. What they're scared to discuss is exactly what we need to talk about. Yeah. We'll see. You guys are so sweet. You're so sweet. Okay. All right. So let's go through the veil a little bit. And really quick, I did want to talk to you guys about what the veil actually is. So basically, the veil is mental, like the veil. And I'm going to be changing my Patreon in December. What I'm thinking of is just making the sub club RV Jamboree and doing more RV Jamboree sessions on Zoom. Of course, you don't have to do every single one if you can't make it, but I think we're going to give Tarot Talk and Crypto Sesh a break in December, only because people are traveling. It's holidays. People are busy. We'll resume back in the new year. But I'm really, really excited for my remote viewing students. And I'm really excited for everyone that uses everything that I'm putting into this the way I want it to be used. So I'm just really excited about that. So the veil is mental. What it really is, what the veil really is like vibrational and structural variance. Vibrational and structural variance between the self as it knows itself while embodied in a physical body, and the self as it knows itself while embodied within like your pure source self, like the living light. Okay? Like your primary beingness, and then you being embodied in the self. But it's vibrational structural variance. So, for instance, vibrations range above and below the physical senses. So when we're here, we have fused our consciousness with our nervous system. Guys, I am so excited with the telekinesis. So both of these, it's so weird because both of these teachers, my screenwriting teacher and my telekinesis my telekinesis teacher, they're both named Michael. So I'm like learning great things from like two Michaels, and it's really cool. Okay. Now, really quickly, like I said, the two completely different people. All right, one's like fucking hilarious. So the veil is, like I said, the structural variance between who you are embodied and then your like real beingness. Now, I want to talk about falling asleep because I added a new meditation to the remote viewing jamboree. And this new meditation is to help you go through the veil. And then there's the Artigan meditation, and then there's the remote viewing. And it takes 20 minutes. I get you there in 20 minutes, okay? My students get there in 20 minutes, and so will you. I can get you there too. So I just want to demystify it a little bit. So the veil, you've got, how do I say this? Okay, so your normal waking state, you have your human consciousness, and you have the cycles per second that your brain waves are cycling through. Okay, you're in the beta state when you're like super awake and alert. The alpha state is a little bit more relaxed. The veil is when you drop into it's remember the vibrational and structural variance between these two states of consciousness. That's what this is, the veil. So like you're awake, and then when you're falling asleep, your brain cycles are getting slower and slower. You go through the veil into theta brainwave states. We've been working on theta brainwave states back when we had PK party on like Friday nights, when we were doing telekinesis on Friday nights. And when you go through the veil, you're in theta brainwave state. So you're in that lucid spiritual state. So what we're doing with telekinesis is achieving a waking awareness in the theta brainwave state. So when you start to slow yourself down, when you're falling asleep, trying to fall asleep, there's a natural gravity where you get to a point that pulls you through the veil and it pulls you into sleep. Okay. So when you're doing your work, you want to get to that waking theta state so that you can still do all of your things and have like that, like I said, lucid spiritual state. It's very much your multi-dimensional. Oh, we have something already. Your multi-dimensional consciousness. But that's the veil. It's the structural and vibrational variance between those two states of being. Eight of Cups is starting off. So I like to see the Eight of Cups. I'm not getting anything from this yet, but I like to see it as being pulled forward, your heart being pulled forward to something. And, you know, it is leaving behind something that's no longer working for you. It's good, but not great. Thank you. The Moon. The Moon requires you to be able to see in the dark. So, you know, in your house, you're getting up to go do something, grab water, go to the bathroom, and you don't turn on the light because it'll hurt your eyes. You know where your furniture is. So you just go a little slower because you're still kind of groggy, and you move through the room to get to where you need to go. That's the Moon card. So it's about being able to move forward on something, even not knowing all of the information. This is really beautiful for creatives. This is going to be best for if you're a creative person, because you're going to be able to do that. You're going to be able to channel that creativity and bring it down and flesh it out in the waking state. So think of like the theta state also as like spaciness, when you're like spacing out, when you're looking out the window when school is boring, when you're looking out the window when work is boring or whatever, and you're just like, and then you get an idea for something, or you're watching a video and you're just into the video, and then an idea comes in, or you're looking through a magazine, you're looking at the pictures, you're just spacing out kind of lightly attention, and then an idea comes in. It's the same thing. You're just not like in a whole meditation, like falling asleep, but don't go all the way. It's just different. You can access theta even when you're like just like doing normal stuff. So the Moon is a subconscious. This is also something possibly having to do with not trends, but it's like the zeitgeist. It's like it's the public, it's the people. So something going on like with the people. And the World. I'm gonna stop here because I do have other. I have a lot. I'm a busy girl these days. The World. Bottom of the deck, the Three of Wands, the Knight of Wands, and the Queen of Wands. Boom. It's a lot of wands. There's a new cycle starting up. There's a new cycle of what you're doing or what you're going to be doing. New focuses. There's success here too. There's some great success. I love this deck because this is how like reality really looks to me. Like when we look out, this is what I see. See how there's like the light and the like little holograms? You see it too if you just like focus or relax your focus. See those like rings around the moon? That's really what reality is, like all the vibrational. You really want to follow your intuition on this. On whatever you're doing or going to be doing, you're either going to need to use your intuition or your creativity. Or both, I guess. Maybe. But it's kind of like a business with the Queen of Wands and the Three of Wands. Like, that's like a successful business. That's an achievement. That's achieving success. You may be rolling. You may be starting or ending these things too. All right, let's take a look at the Eight of Cups. Ooh, I love her. Queen of Swords, Page of Swords. Damn. Okay, so someone here knows their mind like really, really well. They know their mind. They know what they're doing. They have excellent strategy. This is like, if it's a risk, it's a calculated risk. It's something that you know is going to work. That's cool. That's really cool. Let's take a look at the moon. I am going to be a studio boss with like some big cigar. I've never had a cigar in my life, but when I get my studio opened up, I'm going to start smoking cigars. Ace of Wands and the Queen of Wands. I mean, yes, and the Queen of Wands. I have to double up because you have it here. Bippity boppity boop. I've been saying that so much like the last couple of weeks. Bippity boppity boop. Boop. So I love this so much. This is honestly maybe even like some kind of, see how much better this looks? Like, I know it's great being long, but like healthy is better. Okay, so this new thing that there is some entrepreneurial or business thing. And I feel like the timing is really on point. So if you're starting a new relationship, if you're starting a new business, ideally some kind of business relationship, that's something that's like either, it could be like a creative business or like a creative industry. There could be creativity that's part of it. Or it could just be that someone's intuitionally guided to start a new thing or start a new endeavor or start a new project. Okay, let's take a look at the world. This is like congratulations. Like, you've done something and you've achieved a lot and you're like, this is it. This is the crowning moment. And it is the Seven of Wands, a competitive advantage. There's a competitive advantage. Now, listen, we talked about, so I tried to put it down and my hand like flipped up the top card. So I'm going to take it. It's the Strength card. It's the Strength and the Seven of Wands and the World. So, all right, listen, this is like you're starting a new business in an industry and you're a woman and it's not a woman-friendly industry. Okay, whatever, keep going. Or you're the first one to do something in an industry and no one's ever done it before. And people are like looking at you like, raising some eyebrows. Don't worry about it. Keep going. You have a competitive advantage and it's built on having overcome previous obstacles in the past. So on one hand, it's a crowning moment of achievement, or even just coming full circle in terms of your strength that, even like this, this is something that you are doing. Let me make that very clear. This is the Queen of Wands. That's my middle class queen. Okay. She was like born into a family of debt. This is very much like Sleepy Hollow with like Johnny Depp and Christina Ricci, how she's born into the Van Gettets and like the Van Tassels, and like one family was the rich family on the farm, and then the other family was like the servant family, like indebted to them. That's how I see the middle class queen, the Queen of Wands. And she like rises up, marries the Van Garrett. That doesn't go the way it's the Sleepy Hollow story goes, but like takes over that farm, buys the farm next to it, buys the farm next to that, has a kingdom, creates a kingdom for herself, but she built it brick by brick from the ground up. So this is like something that you're doing. You may have a new inspiration to do something, to go for it, and you're doing it. It's great. But it's like built on like past obstacles that you've overcome. What's interesting is that there is like leaving something behind though. It's a balanced mental decision and emotional choice where you're reconciling it. You're at peace with it. So that is what I have for you guys. Really quickly, we will get your moonology. And then I'm going to scoot, and leave you guys to ponder everything I've said in this video about the story of your life and how you want that to be told, how you want to tell it. Show the world the real you. Yes, baby. Conclusions are within reach. And your other popper, what do you need to release? So some of you are like really releasing and moving on from something, an emotional attachment, something that's not really that good for you, but it's all there. I love you guys. Take very good care. I will see you guys next week, my lovelies. Until that time, many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful heads, darlings. Mwah!